Hello, my friends. Welcome to my Living Wisdom series. I'm Tenderlin, a professor and a psychologist. My today's topic is Untangle Jewish People Predicament from the Eastern Perspective. Before I get started, let's listen to one of the short video that I heard on the internet.
The smartest Jewish people in the world, but they don't understand the truth. This intelligent nation has been living in this world for over 2,000 years. Until now, there are only over 10 million people in the long river of history, having been slaughtered or expelled multiple times. It's very tragic. Why is this happening? It's because they don't understand a simple truth. Let others have no way to go, and you are destined to have no way to go either. It can be imagined that if you don't understand this principle, what do you think is waiting for them in the future?
In the above video, Amelia tells us that Jewish people do not understand one simple truth. That is, they let other people have no way to go. They end up having no way to go in the future either. And seems to me this is the predicament. But Amelia did not tell us how the predicament come about. Well, here I want to tell you how the predicament is come about. In my college life, very early in my college life, I have studied a lot about Buddhism. I was a winner of Buddhism essay contest. At that time, I talk about philosophy and Buddhism. I spent a lot of time in study Buddhism. And in my early life, in 1964, I come to the United States to study. Until now, all my life, I have spent a lot of time in the East and the West. And I think I can stand on the Eastern perspective and share my knowledge about how the predicament come about. And I hope you will enjoy in this video. As I come to the United States, obviously, I got into a Christian environment. First, I went to Missouri. Then I come to California. Then I go to work at the East Coast in Florida. And during my life in the United States, I attend all kind of Christian church, attend the Bible class. So every day I can see myself I'm really in touch with Christian environment. And especially I like to know more about it. So I bought a Holy Bible, this book, for myself. It's a large print, and I enjoy reading it, especially the Old Testament. The more I read it, the more I feel the Old Testament is really talking about the Israelis' history, about their history, all their life. And I even watched Ten Commandment movie. I enjoy watching that movie too. How the Moses lead his own people out of Egypt and come to Mount Sinai Peninsula. But from my living in the United States, I find out the Old Testament is really a history of Jewish people. And they say the Old Testament is a Jewish Bible too. So I enjoy reading it, the full page, from the beginning, first page to the last page. And I feel right now The Jewish people have four fundamental beliefs. First, they believe only have one God, that is YHWH. And this God is very powerful, and they believe only one God. Second, they believe the land they occupy is the promised land from the God. Third, they believe they are only the God's chosen people. The other people are treated as pagans. The number four, I feel they say whenever they are in battle with other tribes, they always feel that God is on their side. And these four fundamental beliefs, by now I believe, can be used to explain the Amelia prescription of Jewish people's predicament at this moment. And from now on, I'm going to explain them how it is and how Jewish people can untangle the predicament from the Eastern perspective. The way I understand it, these four beliefs are not running each one and running on their direction, or they are running parallel with each other. No, these four beliefs are highly interrelated. They are further reinforced with each other. For example, you believe in only one God, and this God is really powerful, and the land you have is promised by the God. And every time you go around fighting, the God which is always on your side, you can believe all these four fundamental beliefs are interrelated, inter-reinforced with each other. Therefore, the way I see it, at times they will tangle up with each other. And this tangle up is what I think the Amelia called the predicament. That make the Israeli people do not understand what he called the simple truth. And we Taiwanese call this kind of phenomena, people's mind, brain get tangled up, is a concrete brain. And there's one old saying say, the smart people tricked by their own smartness. That is, 聪明人反为聪明误. And your brain is a concrete brain, just like saying, Atama concreto. From here, I'd like to show you how Jewish people can untangle their tangle of belief by taking Eastern perspective. That's where I come from. And I'd like to share this knowledge. Let's talk about their first belief. They say, unbelieving to have only one God. And I think at the critical moment, you can untangle that if you just believe that God are not idols. And there are very many gods, not just one God in the world. And all these gods are harmonious with each other. They don't have to fight with each other. And this is exactly the Eastern perspective. Here I have two pictures here to show you. Like in Japan, you can see a lot of God together. And even in India, I took a trip there. I always saw there a lot of God. Even one time, the waiter told me when I was take a trip in India, he told me in India have over 1,000 gods. So actually, from the Eastern perspective, the Jew can sometimes can see that God is not just only one God. There are so many gods. And these gods, all these gods are highly harmonious with each other. And at that moment, you should be able to entangle yourself at this point. On untangling the second belief, that is, you believe your own territory is God's promised land. I think at this point, you need to take an Eastern perspective. That way, we'll have less conflict with the people around you. Just think about it. You wake up one day in the morning, your neighbor come to tell you that your land is his land because it's promised by the God. Then how you feel about it? And you too is going to right away get into the conflict. But in the Eastern perspective, we take a different perspective. We say land ownership is come from ancestor, not from the God. So you can take that perspective. I think you immediately can untangle your own belief. On believing the number 3, that you think you are the people of God's chosen people. You have this kind of belief. You tend to think other is not as good as you. But from the Eastern perspective, all creatures are created equal. We don't single out other people as pagans. You can see here, every time in God's birthday ceremony, either in Taiwan or in Japan, wow, there's a crowd of people joining in the street to celebrate any God's birthday. And if you have this mentality, you tend to feel all creatures are equal. Even they say you can reincarnate within each other. And that's a really interesting perspective. And at the time, you can take this kind of Eastern perspective. Definitely, you have a different feeling toward the other human being. If you are believing is God is always fighting with you, then you are more likely to fight. But in Eastern philosophy, in Eastern perspective, we believe God is beneficent, that God is supposed to be love everybody all the time. God is not involved in any fighting. Therefore, when I come to the United States, when I attend the church or Bible class, At first, I was really shocked to hear a hymn singing in the church or Bible class on onward Christian soldiers. They cannot really admire God, Christian soldiers walking down the wall. Of course, a Christian soldier is same like an Abraham soldier, same thing. And I was really surprised because in the Eastern perspective, God is never involved in the war. So when you can take an Eastern perspective, I would believe you are less likely to get involved in the war with other people. Okay, I'm coming to the last slide of my presentation. And I want to tell you at the beginning, I really have some hesitation in my mind because as a common sense, we usually don't talk about politics and religion because this is the two subjects that often people cannot agree upon. But in light of the current Israeli and Hamas war still going on, and when I saw Amelia's YouTube, and on that YouTube, Amelia present Israeli people's predicament that they may not know one simple truth. That is, they don't let other people go. They might end up find out they don't even know where to go in the future. When I listen to this statement, I feel I can make some understanding or knowledge sharing from my growing up Eastern perspective. But I tell you how each perspective can untangle the four Israelis' basic belief. You might still feel I'm very much presented in a personal manner, might be very selfish in a sense. But I don't want to give you that impression. I still feel at this time, right now, maybe I need to share with you a little bit about my position about religions. So you will a little bit feel where I come from when I make all those perspectives. I want to tell you, I'm not a religious zealot. I'm not crazy about any type of religion. And I'm not an atheist. I believe in God. But I believe in God not only just omniscience, omnipresence, omnicompetent. Also, God has to be omnibeneficent. And I do not belong to any religion. I respect religious freedom. So I enjoy, interact, make friends with any people, with any religions. And most importantly, or say luckily, from the very beginning of my life in the United States, in 1966, I have a chance to work at their Vista de Mar. It is a Jewish orphanage. By working on there, I learned a lot about Jewish religious ceremony and the way they organize that institution, the orphanage, and how they program themselves to take care of those emotionally disturbed kids. And that gave me a good feeling about all religions is all about. And I get to a little bit in touch of the first Western forerunner of Western religion. Thank you very much today. I hope you enjoy listen to my presentation today. You see, subscribe to my channel. I may see you next time. Thank you very much.